Stan Jabalisco here from the Cody Hotel in Cody, Wyoming, where I'm currently taking a little winter wandering vacation. But I just received a very interesting email from someone who bought one of my books, and I would like to answer his questions that he poses to me in a video. Because sometimes as a writer I get keyboarded out. The old fingers and the old brain just get tired of sitting there on the keyboard and doing that stuff. So what I'm going to do instead is I copied the file and I'm going to read his questions. There are 5 questions about robotics that come from my book, The Concise Encyclopedia of Robotics. When were you first interested in robotics? Well, I guess I've been interested in gadgets of all kinds pretty much all my life. So the answer to that question would be as soon as I knew what a robot was, probably about age 3 or 4. In fact, when I was in elementary school, one Halloween, everybody in the United States dresses up in costumes. Or I don't know if they still do anymore, but we did at school. And one year I was a robot. They had a aluminum foil all over a cardboard box, and an aluminum foil or some kind of stuff all over my body made me look like one of those humanoid robots. So I guess ever since then, what are the biggest advantages of robots? Well, they can take a lot of the work, the mundane chores that humans have to do, and free humans up for other things that are of more intellectual interest and perhaps more spiritually rewarding as well. They also make a lot less mistakes. They never get tired. They can allow for mass production in ways that have never been possible before, and that's industrial robots do that. And that, I think, is the biggest advantage of robots. Now, question number 3, as you might guess, what are the biggest disadvantages of robots or robotics? Well, I think one of the biggest disadvantages of robots and robotics is that they take jobs away from people. One robot can do the work of hundreds of people in some cases. Of course, that works 2 ways. The proponents of robots would say it frees up our time for more spiritual things, just as I just said. And that's true. But also, unfortunately, it also frees up a lot of people from their employment. And sometimes they have an awful lot of trouble finding another job because a lot of those jobs are labor jobs. Your things that used to be done on assembly lines and things, and one robot can unemploy a dozen people, and I think that is probably one of the biggest disadvantages of robots. Question number 4, what would be considered a robot? I believe that you might want to look at Asimov's 3 laws for robotics. I think it's better to talk about what should a robot be expected to do and how should we expect to interact with them. And as for what is considered a robot, I don't know if I can really answer that question. I don't know if there's really a hard and fast definition of what exactly a robot is. So I'm going to have to pass on that. I think it's better, rather than talking about what they are, talk about what they do. Question number 5, what social factors are responsible for the growth of robotics? Well, I'm going to get a little bit cynical here, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you what I really think. The biggest social factor responsible for the growth of machines and robots of all kinds that take work away from people, the biggest thing is that people just want more and more and more stuff, and they want it at a lower and lower and lower cost. In fact, I think a lot of people want something for nothing, and that is one of the chief reasons why the world is having such economic problems these days. It's always been like this, but I think it's getting worse. And I don't know exactly what to do about it. And as a matter of fact, I'm giving very serious thought on this trip that I'm taking right now to making my life a lot simpler and making a lot of the chores that are currently done by machines for me or by other services for me, making it so I have to do them myself, like gather my own firewood and take care of my own elemental needs a little more, because they say that that is really a very good thing to do. It's kind of a Zen thing. Remember that movie, where they say, scrub wall, paint fence, and you're thinking about these chores, and your mind can kind of disengage, and you connect with the universe in ways that I think our whole society has lost with all the conveniences that we have. But I think that the social factor that's responsible for the growth of all of these machines, ever since the Industrial Revolution, ever since the invention of the wheel, perhaps, is that people just want more and more with less and less effort. And I think that that's cool, except there's a problem with it. Where does it end? So with that, I'll sign off, and I hope I've answered your question, and I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope you'll buy more of my books. And, maybe I can make some more videos about subjects like this. It's kind of fun. Beats the heck out of making my fingers work and my brain and eyes do that kind of work, which a writer, if he wants to be a writer, yes, he's going to be doing that stuff. A lot of people want to be writers. They want to do all the things that writers do, except write. Writing is hard work. With that, I'll sign off from Cody, Wyoming, United States of America. Cool town. You ought to come out here in the winter and see it. Real neat place. Gorgeous scenery. Spectacular scenery. Until next time, so long.